Veilguard is wilding. It is the most return-to-form rated game in the industry. The immersion is a return to form. Remember when fantasy games used to try to get you into a different world? Bioware was the best at this, creating a world and letting you roleplay in a way you wanted to navigate through it with your own story. Veilguard is a return to form in the sense that it is constantly reminding you that you are playing in a world that must reflect the social values and real world we live in so everyone feels represented. Character interactions are a return to form, as in you have no say in the formation of your characters. Example, two allies are mid-conversation, one misgenders the other and acts like they just got a Bible verse wrong in the 1800s. Sunday school having to do push-ups as penance. Unlike Baldur's Gate 3, you get no choice, as after you're forced to watch this entire farce going on, and this happens often between allies where they're role-playing with each other awkwardly and you're just sitting there watching, you end up with 5 choices. However, all 5 choices are you validating the two people in the situation. You can't push back against either of them, you can't even be like, well, I'm not interested in this at all. Every character, including yourself, is perpetually terrified of ever offending someone and getting called into HR to grovel for their job. Apologies and making sure you say the nicest thing. This is the opposite of what Bioware is known for. In KOTOR, you had light and dark side, with dark side options ranging from saying something cruel, to theft, to murder. In Mass Effect, you could take inspiring, heroic actions and be a paragon, or be a renegade and behave like a dick or even get violent. Veilguard regularly stops to lecture or push some sort of modern-day ideology, and it is absurdly immersion-breaking. Like the game was written by Reddit, doing the whole feelings in coffee shops meme, never be mean or disagree with allies is definitely a return to form to days when you could just kill someone you didn't like. Baldur's Gate 3 just came out and there's a scene where the vampire sneaks into your bed while you're sleeping, and the choices range from nice, I am into this, to get away from me, what do you think you're doing, to murder. Poorly paced, uninteresting allies while your character is basically stuck with the default canon script. Some of the dialogue is so tremendously awful, the writing equivalent of AI 12-finger hands morphing into a bowl of pasta. Saints Row Forspoken kill the Justice League with a dark fantasy overlay. Nobody is ever allowed to be offensive, even the Necromancer is played off as a goofy cartoon. This series once had Warden recruits brutally dying, finding out how a broodmother is made, the intensity and fear of the Darkspawn looming over everything. You could get your friend executed, sell a friend into slavery, perform ritualistic sacrifices, send your allies into their doom. Not only was the world disturbing, but the range of your choices could make you a true hero, or something just as horrible as everything else around you. And that's just not allowed now. Wouldn't you rather be a parent mediating between 5-year-olds? I just hope the next Bioware game has captions like, "Please, feel sad here." This dialogue is meant to show you it is a good thing to respect different cultures. You just called an elf a knife ear. That is a no-no phrase. The combat is a return to form. If you're familiar with the recent Dark Alliance reboot, it is very repetitive in every way, from regular combat, ability use, and enemies being fought. Feels like you're returning to form every time you enter a new battle, just to repeat what you just did. The customization is a return to form, as you can create a form that will make nobody want to return to this game. Character sliders are basically pointless out of fear that you might make a character that looks too cool or attractive, and someone else might see it and feel bad about themselves. You cannot try to make a broken build or roleplay off the road they paved for you customizable. This game treats choices like a vampire treats crosses. The visuals are a return to form, without the return part or the form part. Just like early Dragon Age games were brutal, dark, unwelcoming, this game is returning to that by being nothing like it. Just like Dragon Age used to have revolting monsters, darkspawn, and other murderous creatures, now it's goofy and non-threatening. Veilguard captures nothing Bioware is known for, and it is absolutely not, in any way whatsoever, a return to form. So why are journalists parodying each other? Why do they keep saying this phrase? It is clear that is what EA and Bioware want. Bioware, when it was at its best. We would love a return to form of that. Just forget that Anthem, Andromeda, and all the negative consumer sentiment. Corporate journalists often shill in this way when they have a specific message to push on behalf of the corporation. If they instead came out and say they love the new direction of Dragon Age, I would just disagree. But when a journalist says return to form about a game that does everything completely different, combat, visuals, character customization, dialogue, storytelling, they describe a game that gamers will not end up playing. If someone says they love the flavor of vegan steaks, they just have bad taste. But if someone says a vegan steak tastes the exact same as a real top quality steak, no, they're just straight up lying. This is why journalist trust is gone. I can watch a review and respect someone who loves something I hate if their reasoning at least makes sense. I should not be reading journalist reviews and thinking they either played a completely different game or didn't play it at all. Return to form, yet every single aspect of the game is a total departure instead. It sounds like you've been told to lie in order to keep your access to journalism, and after a decade of deceptive practices by journalists to bamboozle customers at the behest of major corporations, people are just not falling for it anymore. What we really need is a return to form for the journalists themselves, to go back to a time when they had ethics, when they could be trusted, and when there was no confusion about them providing information for the gamers, rather than serving as marketing and advertising for the corporations.